What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone. Oh yeah, guys. So, last few episodes we've been working with Galacticraft. We've been going to a space station. We've been going to the moon. We even went to Mars. Been super crazy. I've been having a lot of fun messing around with that mod. I think for right now, we're going to kind of take a break from that, though. And we're going to stay back here in our world. Yes. I want to continue working with the Botanical Garden section of our quest book here. We need to make ourselves terrasteel, and then we have to progress on with this stuff. I at least want to get the terrasteel section of this done today, so this is what we're going to be working on, at least right away. So we need to make 2 sparks. So to make a spark, these are rather inexpensive last time I looked at these. So blaze powder, gold, and then 2 petals. Not expensive at all. What the sparks will do is they'll allow us to create things like, do we not have any petals? We do. Can I use 2 different color ones? No, they have to be the same color. It'll allow us to create things. Let me just try and see what I'm saying. It'll allow us to create things like terrasteel. It will transfer mana from a mana pool to the terrestrial agglomeration plate or whatever that thing's called, like super fast. Alternatively, we could use something like a mana spreader, and while that will work, it'll take literally forever to move enough mana from the pool to the plate to transform the items that we need into the terrasteel. So we're not going to do it that way. Let me go ahead and grab, I guess we'll just do white ones. We need like 4 or 5 of these sparks. Yeah, let's do 5. All right, so do that, this, some of this. Okay, so we got 1. What are we missing? The blaze powder? All right, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and make up a bunch of blaze like so and like so. Whoops. There we go. All right, so there's 5 sparks. Nice. So now we need to make the terrestrial, this thing right here, the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Right. So this requires 3 pieces of lapis blocks and all of the different runes, including the mana rune, and then a block of mana steel, which we can make. Okay, so we got that. I don't remember if we have all those runes. It looks like we're missing the mana rune, and we don't have the lapis. So we can easily craft this up. That's a lapis lamp. That's not what we want. We want these blocks. And then besides the 3 we need for that plate, I think we need 5 more. I think. If we don't need that many, oh well, it doesn't really matter. We could just use some extra ones. So then we need the rune of mana. So what we're going to need is a mana steel again. We're going to need 5 of these. And then we need a mana pearl. We're going to need living rock. Yep, and then our wand. I don't remember if that's on us. Wand of the forest is right here. Cool. So we should be all good to go. We just need to recreate this specific rune. It's not that difficult to do. Boop, 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 boop. That's all set. Now I just need to point these from here to there, and there to there. This one to that one. Wait, no, this isn't working. What am I doing? We need the mana spreaders right next to the pools in order for that to work. I have to have these flowers going. So let's go ahead and grab, okay, hold on a second. Let's go ahead and point this one at this one. I was looking at this and like, why is that not sending mana? Yeah, we need to have the flowers actually going in this particular setup. So let's grab, I don't know, just some coal. That'll work. We'll do 8 per, so yeah, half a stack is all we need. All right, so let's go ahead and set this one up to go. We'll do this one. This one. Finally, this one. Yeah, and then we should be making this particular item here pretty quickly. Yeah, it's already halfway done, so that goes rather quickly. I'm going to start pointing these things back down so we're not wasting the extra mana that the endo flames are generating. There you go. Yeah, we can also use that additional mana too for our terrasteel that we're going to be creating a little bit later. So we'll go and put that right there, right click it, and we got the rune of mana. Nice. Okay, so we're producing a little bit more mana, filling up those mana pools. It's all good. This thing goes right here, and there we go. There's our terrestrial agglomeration plate. Right. So I'm trying to remember how the thing goes. We have to build a certain structure out of lapis, and I think it's the living rock, and place that plate in the center. And I can't remember if it's like 5 living rock and 4 of these or the other way around. Guess we will pull out the manual and find out I'll take all these extra blocks with us though. Botania. The Lexica Botania is what we need to find out how to make this thing. So let's see. Terrasteel. All right. That's how to make the plate. There we go. Okay. So it is 5 living rock and 4 lapis. Got it. All right. So let's go ahead and make this thing. We need this somewhere decently close. I think right here should work. Okay. We need to put that one slab back just like so. All right. And then these things. And then the lapis in the 4 corners. One of these right there. And the plate on top. There we go. Okay, so now that we got that all set up, we can take these sparks. We just have to right click them right here. And then on each one of these mana pools gets its own spark. The plate will be able to pull out of all 4 of those mana pools when we're trying to create the mana or the terrasteel, which is pretty awesome. All right, so the next step is we need to get ourselves the things to make the terrasteel. So we need the mana steel, the mana pearls, and the mana diamonds. All right, so I think it's a total of 4 of each that we need. So let's just grab 4 of each. There we go. We'll drop 1 of each of these onto our plate, and that should start creating the mana steel. Or I'm sorry, the terrasteel. Yeah, you can see it's pulling the stuff from all of the different pools. And there we go. There's our first piece of terrasteel. That's not so bad to do, right? This is why we wanted to store that mana up, because it does use a lot. It's half a mana pool per creation. You can see the mana just being slurped out of this thing. So that's going to be going pretty quickly. We're going to be losing all of our stored mana. Yeah, I like the sparks. Learning about those for the first time in Infinity Evolved Expert Mode, that definitely made my life a lot easier, because I think the first piece of terrasteel I tried creating was with the mana spreaders, and I think the items ended up despawning before it was able to be created. It just isn't good. So anyway, there we go. There's our 4 pieces of terrasteel. So now we can make the terrasteel seeds, which I want to do because I don't want to have to do this process every single time. So we'll take what we have over here. I think it's the Zavicio essence. Let's double check. This is, yeah, Zavicio. All right, cool. We got a bunch of that already in the system, so we can do this action. And there we go. There's terrasteel seeds. We need the time block. Imaginary time. Right on. And then we're just going to go ahead and have a crop field making these things all day. I guess we need to stick them like that. The time block up here. Boom. And things should just happen. Cool. I'm going to make sure it's daytime. I'm going to let that go for a while, collect some of that essence, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Well, the terrasteel has filled in quite nicely. We are collecting a lot of the terrasteel essence, so we should be able to make the terrasteel that we need. So it says that we need 32 pieces of terrasteel to complete our quest. So let's go ahead and see if we can make 32. There's a full stack, so we should be more than complete on what we need. Just put all these extra things away. Cool. All right, so back to the quest book. Yes, this is now done. Terrasteel. All right, so we made the 2 sparks. We had the living rock. We had the lapis lazuli. We made the plate, and there's the 32 pieces of terrasteel. Awesome. All right, so back here. I don't know why I clicked off there. Left reward bag today. Epic reward bag. Let's do it. We got Amulet of Night Vision. Okay, so we've had that a few times. They're calling it a Kazaa reward. We've already seen that thing doesn't work so well. Yep. So anyway, back to here. Terrasteel. Yeah, the Elven Portal is the next step. So we need the Natura Pylons, we need Glimmering Living Wood, and we need an Elven Gateway Core. So the Elven Gateway Core is made by terrasteel nuggets and some living wood. That sounds like something pretty easy that we can do. So let's go ahead and grab a piece of terrasteel. We will nuggify that. There we go. And then we can go ahead and do this. Yep, we got everything. Nice. Okay, so that completes that portion. Then Glimmering Living Wood. So that is made by a piece of living wood and glowstone dust. How many did we need? 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, done. Awesome. And finally, we need 2 nature pylons. All right, so in order to do that, we need a mana pylon. The mana pylon is mana steel, mana diamond, and a couple pieces of gold. So let's go ahead and make 2 of those. All right, so there's that. And then finally, the Natura pylon is more nuggets, and then eyes of Ender. I'm not sure if we have any eyes. It does not look like we do. So let's go ahead and create 2 of those. And these, there we go. Nice. I can't remember what the other blocks are for the Elven Gateway. I'm sure we'll figure that out by looking in the Lexica Botania. So that fulfills everything for this quest, which is awesome. So we'll choose the left reward bag. And it's a legendary one. Cool, cryo-stabilized flux duct. That's an infinity reward. Is that the first time we've gotten one of those? Maybe. 3.21 chance to get this reward. I mean, that's awesome. Oh, you know what? These are EMC, right? Okay, cool. So we will learn them. Things we haven't had before. Well, if we ever need to make cryo-stabilized flux ducts, we can go ahead and do that. Those transfer unlimited RF per connection. So, yeah, those work really well. Instead of putting a tesseract and everything, like if you need machines that require a lot of power, yeah, we can just have like one tesseract with a line of those cryo-stabilized flux ducts, and all the machines connected can have all of the power. Okay, so going on from here, it wants us to make elementium. And in order to do that, I believe we need the pixie dust. Can we look this up in NEI? It's been a while since I've done this. I can't remember exactly how this is made. Yeah, oh, no. This is an elven trade, right? So 2 pieces of mana steel thrown through the mana or through the elven portal will get us an elementium ingot. Right. Okay, so now we have to make that portal. So back to the Lexica Botania. We get out of here. This should, at some point, show us how to do the Elven Alfheim thing. So yeah, right here in the Lexicon Index, we can find the portal to Alfheim. And it says, it's said that once, elves used to share the world with us Minecrafters. Due to unknown events, they would have been banished back to their own world, Alfheim. I don't know why I said they would have. Wouldn't that be they are? Anyway. Experimentation has been done in an attempt to bridge the gap between the 2 worlds, and means of creating a portal that does just that has been devised. Right, so this goes on to tell us about the gateway core, the miniature pylons, which we've just made, and then this shows us how to set this all up. I assume this is just the, yeah, we have the elven gateway core and then the glimmering living wood. I assume the other blocks are living wood. So you can click visualize, which is kind of cool. You can move this around, place it wherever you want to. I think we're going to place it over on this side. Kind of makes sense to do that. Really? Okay, so if we unvisualize it, we can see it right here. Oh, I guess I need to move it over one. Anyway, let me go ahead and place this in the correct spot, and I'll fill in all the blocks, and we will go ahead and get this thing hooked up. Also, I wanted to point out that we are out of mana in this particular mana pool. It all got slurped out because of the terrasteel that we're creating. So yeah, I'm going to have to get these things going too, because we need a bit of mana to keep this portal going and to open it up for the first time. So anyway, let me get some stuff done, and we'll be back, guys. Alright guys, well I got the portal set up. I inset it into the ground 1 block instead of sitting on top of the slabs like we were going to do. So I think that just makes it easier to walk up and throw things through and do the things that we need to do. So we have mana in these pools now. I got some mana tablets. I emptied the one that we had in storage out. And then I took another one and I sucked all the stuff out of the mana pools that we had remaining. Yeah, and we put them in over here. So I have these things now going again, trying to collect a little bit more mana. Anyway, what it says that we need to do at this point is click the core with the Wand of the Forest. That should open the portal. It uses a bunch of mana to do this. And then it does like a little trickle to keep it running. We'll probably close it, because after we open that thing, there's really not a whole lot that we need from there. So let's go back to the quest book before we do anything, though. This wanted us to have 32 elementium, which means we need a stack of the mana steel. So we have a stack right here. Perfect. So we can go ahead and do that. We'll just toss that through. 2 of them turns into 1 of the elementium, and that will do what we need it to do. So let's go ahead and click this. There we go. There's the portal. It is not using that much mana. It is using some, didn't use that much. Anyway, we can take these, just chuck that right in there, and we get popcorn. Nice. Okay, so all those things are coming back out. Now, another thing we can do is take our Lexica Botania. Since we don't know anything about Alfheim or whatever, it doesn't have anything here, we can go ahead and queue that through there, and they send it back to us, just like so. And now our Lexica Botania has been upgraded. So it's got some stuff here to read. Don't really want to read it at the moment. But now if we go to this Alfhemancy, however you say that, yeah, it gives us information about the ritual of Gaia, Gaia 2, some relics, other information, other such things. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I don't know how much stuff we need out of the portal. I probably will just turn this thing off. There's not a lot of reason to keep it running, to be honest. Yeah, let me do some more research and figure out what else we need to do here. Oh, you know what? This quest is complete, isn't it? Let's go ahead and choose our reward then. All right, so we got chance cubes. We got more hearts. Where's our bag? It's just a good one, huh? All right, so let's do it. Amazing Technicolor glasses. That's like the 12th time we've had those, I think. So anyway, it looks like the next step to finish this line is to do the Gaia Guardian thing, which is a little complex. I don't think I'm ready to do that just yet. I don't even know where we're going to fight it. We might set it up in the mining world. Since it requires a decent amount of space, we might set up a little thing here to fight it. I don't know yet, but I don't think we're going to fight it today. We're probably just going to move on to something else. Let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to move on to, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, cool. So looking at the Botanical Garden, yeah, we are completely done with this except for this Gaia Guardian fight. So we're 95% complete. So we're almost done with the whole Botania section, which is pretty cool. We have the immersive technology section, which we still need to do. Lots of quests in here. Looks like a lot of just crafting or whatever. The End Omega, we're still kind of stuck. Looks like the simple achievement book area is coming up next. Oh, you know what? We have all of these seeds up here. I just noticed that this is available for us to do. So I wonder if unlocking these and getting all of these would unlock this quest. I wonder if it's like you have to have this one and this one unlocked. Anyway, that's more crafting and stuff. I'm not really interested in doing that right now. What I want to do, though, let's go back to another aspect. We don't really want to go to Galacticraft stuff. I think what we're going to do is come down this path and try and unlock this quest down here. But yeah, I don't really want to go to the moon or Mars or space stations or anything like that right now. Although we might end up having to do that. So anyway, solar powered. Yeah, this wants us to make 3 basic solar panels and then 3 advanced solar panels. So let's look at a basic solar panel. This requires a full solar panel, which is single solar module, which is blue solar wafer and glass and aluminum wire. And this is diamond with some silicon, redstone lapis, and the circuit fabricator. Oh, that makes 9 of them. That makes it a little less tedious. Okay, so 9 of those. So that'll give us a total of 6 of these single solar modules, I think, which will allow us to do 1 full solar panel. Okay, well, we got some crafting in store for us. The aluminum wires, that is just wool, aluminum, and wool. These are EMCable, so we won't have to worry about that. Compressed steel, EMC. Steel pole, more compressed steel. That all seems pretty easy. Basic wafer, yeah, we've already did this one. I think we did that last episode or the episode before. I can't remember. So everything here doesn't look that bad. Now, the advanced solar, I'm kind of concerned, like how much more stuff we need. So it's another full solar panel. So we're not even upgrading the original one into this one. This is starting over again. Okay, so we have to do all that. And then it's an advanced wafer instead of the basic wafer. And then heavy aluminum wire. Interesting. Okay, well, we can go ahead and do that. It's a lot of crafting. I'm going to get that crafting done. We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Well, I went ahead and I got the crafting done. I accidentally shift-clicked. And I made 6 of these things instead of 3. Dang it. So I had to make more of the full solar panel things. These, yeah, I had to make these like 9 times instead of 6 times. Anyway, we got everything done. Now I was looking at the quest. It's like, how much do these make? That's a good question. Because when you hover over these things, it doesn't really say how much they collect. I don't even know what these things look like. Let's go ahead and place one on the ground. Let's just take a look at it. Oh, Oh, well, that's pretty cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. There it goes. It's collecting. It's not collecting that fast. That's the basic one, though. I'm curious what the advanced one looks like. Let's set this one down. Okay, so it's about the same. Oh, that's collecting RF way faster. That looks like that might be about 100 a tick. Well, that's no, not 100 a tick. That looks like that might be somewhere around 20 a tick, probably. Anyway, those look pretty cool. I don't know how much use we're gonna get. We got so many solar panels in this mod pack. So let's go ahead and put these away. The quest is complete, so let's go ahead and claim a reward. Let's do the left reward bag. All right, so we're doing a greater reward bag, and we got amazing Technicolor glasses again. Dang it. All right, next quest. Let's continue on. Throw him out the airlock. Oh, okay, right. So we were going to make these airlocks, and we didn't have the meteoric iron before, right, for the airlock controller. Now we do, so that's pretty cool. Throw him out the airlock. I wonder if that's a Battlestar Galactica reference. Well, anyway, some kind of a space program reference. So that's going to give us a terraformer, a full heart, and a chance cube. Surprise, surprise on the chance cube. Walkway. I don't know what the difference between these are. This one looks like it's got a different base. Those two look rather the same to me. I don't know if there's any difference. So anyway, we need to make ourselves an airlock controller. And to make... Oh, it's two words. Airlock controller. To make an airlock controller, we need the basic wafer, compressed meteoric iron, compressed steel. Think we should have everything together for that. There we go. So I probably wanted a few of those. Yeah, and we'll grab these airlock frame blocks that we were trying to do before. We might go to the space station and try and install these just for fun and see how they look. So anyway, the next part is we wanted a short range telepad. So this thing is from Galacticraft Planets. And it's more, well, compressed titanium. That's different, actually. I don't know if we have this. In fact, I am pretty sure we don't. So we need compressed titanium, beam core, which is compressed iron, redstone, and glass pane. That's not so bad. Ender pearls and redstone. Okay. Well, I need to pull out the compressor once again. I don't think we have one out here. The compressor. This one. This also requires coal. It's kind of silly that you can't feed it RF as far as I know. And then titanium. Yeah, we have these. Cool. So let me go ahead and get this going. I'll make that particular item and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. So I made the telepads and these are kind of cool looking. I already set them down a little bit, so I know a little bit about them, but that's what that looks like. So it's little things that you can kind of walk up to. It doesn't look like I can walk onto it. I don't know if that's because I have step assist on. Let's turn this off, actually. Okay, yeah, without that step assist, I can easily walk up on this pad. With the step assist on, for some reason, or with it off, I can walk up there. With it on, I can't walk up onto this pad. I kind of have to jump a little bit, and then I can get in there, which is kind of weird. But anyway, that's what that's looking like. Set down another one right here. That should be fine. Yeah, so I was looking, the top of these appear to be where you can power them from. So I got some tesseracts here. We can go ahead and stick some, whoop, right there. And one right there. Cool. So if we right click, yeah, we can see this filling up with energy now. So what you have to do with these, the address, this is the unique address per teleporter. So this one right here, we'll just call number 1. And we're going to teleport to number 2. So it's a point A to point B operation. You can only go from here to there, right? And then you can tell this one to go from here to here if you want to, and you can loop back and forth. So that seems like a pretty cool thing to do. So we'll call this one address number 2, and we're going to target number 1. Okay, so receiving active, ascending active. It looks like everything is good to go. So the particles inside are blue. That looks happy. Let's go and jump in. So we stand here. The particles turn from blue to like a green. And boop, now we're over here. So that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously that's not a far teleportation or anything like that. And we can use our enhanced charm or dislocation for instant warp. These apparently will transfer a player 250 blocks away, which is pretty awesome. So like if you have a base, like, you know, at the bottom of your mining world and you build way up like a tower or something. This could be kind of cool to get from the bottom to the top of that tower. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other uses for this in particular. I guess like if you have, you know, in a space station or whatever, that'd be kind of awesome as well to kind of get around that way, like Star Trek action. So that's pretty awesome. We'll go ahead and collect all this stuff. In fact, I should turn my magnet back on. Had that off for making the terrasteel, I think. Anyway, so we have that all done. Let's go back to the quest book. And yeah, this task is complete. I'm going to choose this walkway. I really don't know what the differences are. But yeah, terraformer, full heart, chance cube, claim it. Oh yeah, I was looking for a reward bag and we didn't get a reward from that, did we? Okay, so back to the quest book. Oh, space station. Okay, yeah. So we've done all this stuff. We made the space station. We've had all these different bits and pieces on us during the time. So left reward bag, let's claim that. Legendary. Hey, matter receiver, block protector, and charge porter. You know, that's not so bad. RF tools stuff. And that's charging up because that's in my inventory. Yeah, that's not so bad. Block protector. I don't know if we're ever going to use one of those. Maybe that'll help us out in our another dimension quest or whatever that one was. Let's go back here. Oh no, it wants us to craft all this stuff. So I guess that doesn't really matter. We're going to have to craft these things anyway. But yeah, it looks like we're pretty much done in this section. We had the RF tool stuff to do. And we have this one, which says just for show. And this says build the T3 Rocher just because you can, or use it to go to the asteroid belt. So this isn't something that we need to do for our quest. It just wants us to build one, which is fine. That's fine. But yeah, that's awesome. That's unlocked. So if we go back here, okay, yeah, I do think we're probably gonna have to go through all these seeds in order to unlock this. We'll look at doing that soon. And it looks like a lot of the stuff over here in this section is things that we've already done. So we might be able to bust through this stuff real quick too. Yeah, we'll have to look at that here pretty soon. All right, guys. Well, I tell you what, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap the episode up here for today. I was going to go to the space station and check out the airlock controller and the airlock frame. We might do that next time as well. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.